What if your entire nation was just wiped out in a single day? What if you were the only one left, with the future of your people resting on a single impossible choice? This isn't just a story of tragedy, it's the forging of a legend. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into the absolutely brutal and epic world of Hundra.
You are the ember of our fire of freedom. These are the words that seal her fate. A path carved not by choice, but by fire and by loss. This is the story of Hundra, a lone warrior who is forced to carry the future of her entire people on her shoulders.
So here's how we're going to break down her journey. We'll start with her becoming the last warrior, then follow her on a desperate quest that will test her very soul. We're going to descend with her into the terrifying Temple of Chains, witness the impossible warrior's choice she has to make, and finally see how she plants this seed of freedom.
All right, so to really understand the warrior, you first have to understand the world that made her. A world without men. A world that is on the absolute brink of annihilation. Okay, so you've got these two worlds, and they are on a collision course. There's just no other way to put it. On one side, you have Hundra's tribe, a fierce matriarchy of warrior women. They value independence above all else, and they only use men from the outside world to continue their build line. But on the other side, you have the world of men, a brutal patriarchy where women are seen as nothing more than property. It's not a question of if these worlds are going to collide, it's just a matter of when.
While Hundra, the tribe's greatest champion, is away hunting, the unthinkable happens. Driven by this deep-seated fear and hatred, male warriors descend on her village like a plague. In one horrifying afternoon, the world she knew was just burned to the ground. Everything and everyone she ever loved is turned to blood and ash.
She returns to an absolute nightmare. But the fight? It's not over. The raiders hunt her through the mountains, desperate to extinguish the last ember of her tribe. The thing is, they have no idea who they're chasing. One by one, she picks them off, and when the dust finally settles, she stands victorious, but completely, utterly alone, the last of her kind.
But just surviving is only the beginning of her torment. Consumed by rage, she seeks out the tribe's dying elder, only to be given a mission that will force her to embrace the one thing she despises most in this world.
The dying elder, Chrysula, hits her with a devastating truth. Their people, their entire way of life, will die with her unless she continues their tradition. The mission is clear, and it is horrifying. Hundra, who hates the world of men, now has to venture into it, find a man, and bear a daughter to carry on their bloodline. She's no longer just a warrior, she is their entire nation.
So think about this impossible dilemma. How can a warrior who sees men as nothing more than brutal beasts find one worthy of fathering the future of her nation? Her quest takes her south, into the lands of the Bull, the home of the very men who destroyed her world. Hundra's quest leads her to this huge, sprawling city, a place that basically represents everything she hates. And here, she discovers the heart of female subjugation, a place they call the Temple. And that's when things take a really dark turn. See, the Temple, it's not a place of worship, no. It's a factory designed to break women. They're stolen from their families, groomed to be subservient, and their spirits are just shattered. And then they're sold like cattle to the highest bidder. It is a system of unimaginable cruelty. Hundra sees this young girl being dragged away, and she just can't stand by. She intervenes, she fights, and her defiance does not go unnoticed. The city's cruel high priest Nepokin hears about this wild woman and decides he has to possess her. But what happens next? Well, it changes everything. His guards ambush her, and they are no match. In a spectacular chase across the city's rooftops, Hundra proves she is a force the city has never, ever seen before. Her escape is pure chaos, and it culminates in this desperate leap that sends her crashing through a roof and into a new, totally unexpected reality that is going to challenge her entire worldview. So she crashes through this roof and lands in the home of Pater, a gentle healer, and he shows her nothing but kindness, completely shattering her belief that all men are brutal beasts. For the first time in her entire life, she meets a man who doesn't want to control her. But her warrior mindset, it's still there. She sees him only as a means to an end. Her proposal is cold, it's transactional. You will mate with me and make a child. She's basically viewing him as breeding stock, nothing more. And Patre is completely thrown off. He refuses, telling her that for him, it's just not that simple. This forces Hundra to adapt.
She actually allows herself to be taken to the temple, determined to learn the so-called womanly ways she thinks will win Pataria over. In there, she befriends Trisima, another captive. So while Trisima is teaching Hundra the art of submission, Hundra is secretly teaching Trisima how to fight. A fire is being lit. And in the time she spends with Patare, their connection blossoms into something she never, ever expected, love. And soon, her mission is complete. She's pregnant.
Just as Hundra finds this little glimmer of happiness, her world shatters again. Napakan discovers her secret. He rips her newborn daughter from her arms and gives her a monstrous ultimatum. Bow before him and the entire city, or her child will die. The warrior is trapped, forced to her knees to save her daughter's life.
But Nepakin, oh, he has made a fatal mistake. He thought he was breaking a warrior, but what he's actually done is cornered a mother, and he is about to unleash her fury upon his entire corrupt system.
So at the ceremony, as Hundra is forced to her knees, all hell breaks loose. Trisima, now a warrior herself, frees the children. Patrifle creates a diversion, and Hundra, she explodes. Her defiance ignites a spark in the other women, and that spark becomes a fire. A full-scale rebellion erupts. The temple becomes a battlefield for freedom.
In the chaos, Hundra confronts Nepakin and ends his reign of terror for good. She saves her child and frees the women. She's won. And she could stay with Patere, the man she's actually grown to love. But her destiny, it isn't one of peace. In a heartbreaking farewell, she chooses her warrior's path, leaving the city behind to rebuild her nation one warrior at a time.
She fulfilled her quest, but in doing so, she became so much more. She didn't just create a child. She found love, she sparked a revolution, and she completely redefined the meaning of strength. She is a warrior. She is a mother. She is the founder of a nation.
And this story leaves us with this powerful declaration. Hundra's legacy isn't just her child. It's the seed of defiance she planted in the world. A truly epic end to a journey of survival and rebirth. If you enjoyed this explanation, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more breakdowns just like this one.